Welcome to Trending Now USA, and I am Bella. Today's developing story centers around Coco Gauff, the young American tennis superstar whose latest public comments have stirred deep emotion among fans across the world. What she revealed was not scandalous, not controversial, and not directed at any individual, but the response she shared carried an emotional weight that many supporters did not expect. Her words were honest, reflective, and vulnerable, qualities she has always displayed with grace, yet hearing them all at once left many of her followers feeling a kind of heartbreak rooted in admiration, empathy, and concern. What follows is a detailed look at Coco Gauff's statement, how it unfolded, why it resonated so powerfully, and how fans around the world have reacted in the hours since her message began circulating. Coco Gauff has long been known as one of the most composed, grounded, and emotionally mature athletes of her generation. Rising to international fame as a teenager, she entered professional tennis, carrying not only her own hopes, but the expectations of millions who saw in her a spark reminiscent of past legends. Over the years, she has matched her athletic talent with a calm resilience that many commentators have admired. From early victories to high-pressure moments, she has remained one of the sport's most inspiring figures. That is precisely why her recent remarks took so many followers by surprise. Although she has always been open about her experiences, she rarely chooses to speak in such deeply personal terms. In a carefully worded message shared during a media availability, Coco began by acknowledging the incredible support she has received throughout the year. She thanked fans, her team, her family, and the broader tennis community for the encouragement that has shaped her journey. But what caught listeners off guard was the shift that followed, a moment where her tone softened, her voice slowed, and she shared a reflection that many described afterward as unexpectedly emotional. She explained that while her accomplishments have brought her immense pride, they have also come with pressures that are difficult to fully articulate. She spoke about the weight of expectations, the relentless pace of competition, and the internal standards she holds herself to, standards that are often far more demanding than anything imposed on her from the outside. These comments were not confessions of regret or disappointment. Rather, they were acknowledgments of the human side of a public figure who spends a significant portion of her life in the global spotlight. She expressed that, even in moments of victory, it can sometimes be challenging to fully appreciate the achievements because the mind shifts instantly to the next match, the next tournament, the next opportunity where she feels the need to give everything she has. Fans later admitted that hearing her speak so openly about the emotional fatigue that can accompany elite sports left them with a sense of sadness, not because Coco is struggling to cope, but because it reminded them how much pressure a young athlete must endure even while delivering inspiring performances. Coco's message continued with a reflection on time, the time she feels she has devoted to her craft, the sacrifices she has made, the celebrations she has postponed, and the normal life experiences she occasionally wonders about. She clarified that she is grateful for every opportunity tennis has given her, but she also admitted that the balance can be delicate. She shared that there are days when she misses simply being able to step away from the constant flow of commitments, practices, and expectations. For fans who have watched her grow up through media coverage and match broadcasts, this moment resonated deeply. Many realized that although she has achieved so much at a young age, the emotional landscape behind those accomplishments is far more complex than most observers recognize. Throughout her statement, Coco remained composed, thoughtful, and sincere, never dramatic, never self-pitying. She emphasized that she loves tennis and feels fortunate to compete at the highest level, but she also pointed out that the emotional strain of constantly being evaluated can sometimes be overwhelming. She described the difficulty of navigating public reactions, how triumphs are celebrated across platforms, while setbacks can prompt noise she tries her best to tune out. She did not criticize anyone directly. Instead, she explained that despite her resilience, she is still human, and moments of vulnerability are an inevitable part of her life and career. One of the most tender parts of her message came when she discussed the people who support her behind the scenes. She spoke about her family's sacrifices, her coach's dedication, and the quiet moments where she reflects on how much she wants to make them proud. She acknowledged that her team often sees sides of her that the public does not, the pressure she feels, the nights she lies awake replaying points in her head, the mornings she wakes up determined to do better even when her body is tired. Fans who later shared their reactions online pointed to this section of her statement as the moment that left them with the deepest sense of heartbreak. Hearing Coco express gratitude mixed with a quiet burden of responsibility made many realize just how emotionally intertwined her life has become with the expectations of those around her. Coco also addressed the challenges of maintaining a personal identity outside of her achievements. She explained that while she appreciates the recognition she receives, it can sometimes be difficult to separate who she is as a person from who she is as a professional athlete. She talked about the experience of being labeled, analyzed, and discussed at every turn, how each match can become a narrative, how decisions she makes might spark speculation, and how she tries to maintain balance through all of it. She made it clear that she is not complaining. Instead, she is acknowledging the reality that success in sports is often accompanied by emotional complexities that are rarely visible to the public. Many fans said afterward that this was the part that truly struck them. Seeing a young champion, someone who represents hope, strength, and perseverance, speak honestly about the difficulty of maintaining her sense of self made supporters feel a surge of empathy. Some shared messages on social platforms expressing admiration for her courage. Others described feeling heartbroken simply because they wished she could experience her success without having to shoulder such immense emotional strain. As the statement progressed, Coco spoke about her future and the lessons she has learned. She shared that she is committed to growing not only as an athlete, but as a person. She reflected on the importance of emotional well-being, rest, and giving herself grace when things do not go perfectly. She emphasized that disappointment is not failure and that growth often emerges from challenging periods. Hearing her articulate this perspective reassured many listeners, though the honesty she displayed earlier continued to echo in their minds. At one point, she addressed younger athletes who look up to her. She encouraged them to pursue their dreams while remembering that their worth does not depend solely on their results. She highlighted the importance of asking for support, taking breaks when needed, and understanding that feeling overwhelmed does not mean they are weak. Fans called this portion of the message both comforting and poignant. It showed Coco's desire to help others avoid some of the emotional pressures she has felt. Toward the conclusion of her remarks, Coco expressed gratitude once more. She thanked her supporters for their understanding and acknowledged that she does not always share the deeper emotional experiences she navigates. She stated that speaking about them openly in this moment felt important, not because she wanted sympathy, but because she wanted to remind people that behind the athlete is a person with thoughts, fears, hopes, and emotions that are very real. She added that sharing her feelings does not diminish her determination or her love for the sport. Rather, it helps her remain grounded and self-aware as she moves forward. After the statement ended, reactions emerged almost immediately across social platforms. Many fans wrote messages describing the mix of emotions they felt. Some said they had tears in their eyes. Others described a quiet ache, wishing she could feel less pressure and more freedom. Still others praised her for her honesty, stating that her words made them appreciate not just her athletic talent, but her humanity. Many expressed admiration for her strength and hoped she would continue to prioritize her emotional well-being. The ripple effect of her remarks extended into the broader sports commentary community. Analysts, former players, and journalists highlighted the significance of an athlete speaking so openly about emotional fatigue. Several emphasized that Coco's words were not signs of discouragement, but examples of maturity, an acknowledgement of the emotional realities of high-level competition. They noted that her message could spark important conversations about athlete mental health, public expectations, and the pressures placed on young stars. Throughout the day, as her comments continued to circulate, fans revisited past moments from Coco's career, her breakthrough victories, her inspirational speeches, her determined performances. Many said that looking back now, her earlier statements about balance and mental strength take on new depth. Supporters posted compilations celebrating her resilience, while others shared messages emphasizing their unconditional support regardless of wins or losses. By evening, the emotional tone surrounding the story had shifted slightly. While the initial feeling among fans was heartbreak, the later mood reflected a sense of admiration and solidarity. People recognized that her openness had brought them closer to understanding what she experiences behind the scenes. Many expressed gratitude for her transparency and promised to support her as she continues her journey. Even though Coco did not make any dramatic announcement or reveal any distressing news, the heartfelt nature of her reflection touched people on a profound level. Her sincerity resonated because it was real, because it illuminated the emotional truths that exist behind the polished image of a celebrated athlete. Fans were reminded that while Coco Gauff continues to inspire millions, she is still a young woman carving her place in a demanding world, one that often expects perfection but rarely acknowledges the emotional cost of striving for it. As conversations continue, supporters around the world remain hopeful that Coco's openness will encourage others to share their feelings when they need to, and that it will spark greater understanding within the sports community. Her message stands as a reminder that vulnerability is not weakness. It is a form of strength that allows athletes to connect with people far beyond the boundaries of the court. This story remains one of the most talked about moments of the day, not because of shock or controversy, but because of the emotional honesty Coco shared with the world. Fans may have felt heartbroken hearing her words, but they also felt inspired, protective, and deeply proud of the young champion who continues to show grace both in victory and in vulnerability. And that is the latest from Trending Now USA. I am Bella.